Hey friends, thanks for stopping by. Today's layout is called Mom and it's featuring a lot of Kiwi Lane templates. So I'll be using the crepe paper DIY shop, and this is a I'm not going to say very old, but it's a much older collection. I think it came out around 2012. I like using these older papers when I'm using an older picture, and it just, I don't know, it has more of a vintagey look to it. So I kind of feel like it works well with the picture. So I will be using this tag paper or cut apart paper to cut my flowers, which I'll be using in that center circle that you see pinned on the right hand side of my screen, which is the sketch that I'm using for this layout. So for the flowers, I end up using Carte Forget Me Not, Blossoms 1, and there was another one, maybe Accents 1T. Um, so yeah, so you just bear with me as I trace some of them out, and I do end up using cutting out 9 flowers, and I do repeat a couple of the patterns, but for the most part, I try to do one of each pattern, only because I wanted to use um, a smaller scaled design. Like I didn't want the dots to be too big, or the design elements or the print to be too big. So I wanted to find something that had um, smaller elements. And of course, I don't realize I have the 6x6 pad until much later. So you just saw me using my pencil to shape my flower, and that is one way that you definitely can do it, whether it be with a pen or a pencil, or even like a skewer works well too, those wooden skewers. Um, but I will also be using the Heartfelt Creations Deluxe Flower Shaping Set, which you'll see me pull out in a little bit. By all means, you do not have to have this. I've had this set for, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 years, and I barely ever use it, and I remembered I had it, so I pulled it out. I am a true believer of use what you got. So if you got it, use it. So for those of you that never have used Kiwi Lane, it is definitely a great way to reimagine things. You could do so many things with the templates, whether it be reshaping them to something else that you might want to do. I've seen people do like animals out of certain ones, and different shapes. You can put them together. Now here you see me using the Heartfelt Creation, and this is kind of like a I forgot what it's called, but uh, I hate when I have the word in my mouth and I know what I'm gonna say and it just like disappears. Um, but here you can see it has like a round little circle at the bottom, and you can probably use um, like a stylus or something for this. And the other end is for paper quilling. That's it, quilling. I kept thinking quilting, and I'm like, no, that's not quilting. Okay, so paper quilling for one end, and I just roll this, and it's kind of like a mouse pad that I'm working on, and they have different size little um, tips, which are interchangeable with this handle. So for that one, this is the a la carte Forget Me Not, and I am just using the smaller bit to just kind of go down the middle of the flower and then the edges to create a little crease so that my flower gets a little bend, and as you can see, it's starting to curl up. And I absolutely love how my flowers turned out, and how just about this whole page I was very happy with. It's been a while since I've used my Kiwi Lane templates, and it felt really good going back and using them. So here I'm just looking on my phone for the um, sketch, and as you can see, I'm using the top one. I'm going to trace, and I just wanted to see my placement, so I'm going to trace it. And what I'm going to do is I am going to use there's a one that you can just punch holes with. So I'm punching holes around, and I'm going to stitch my page with, it's like an orangish reddish color thread, and it really looks beautiful with this wood grain background. So here I am looking for the end of my thread, and sometimes I hate myself because instead of putting things away, the right way, I just kind of just leave it, leave it on the side, and it just starts to roll up, and we end up being a big mess. But finally, I think I do find it. I cut a piece off, and that needle, I think it's used for like cross stitching or something like that, because it's blunt, and then the hole is nice and big, so you can get thicker threads, or like embroidery floss. So I always use a little bit of washi tape to hold my knot in place so that I don't pull it through the paper, and it works perfectly. So now I'm gonna go through, and I actually erase my lines because I noticed that you can see it since I'm skipping, a hole. Well, not really skipping a hole, but I'm doing the in out. I'm not sure what that stitch is called. I know nothing about sewing, or I mean, I know how to sew, but I don't know the exact terminology for everything. So bear with me, and if you know what it's called, let me know. I'm thinking this is like some sort of like single stitch. It's definitely not a back stitch. So yeah, so I sped it up a little bit because you really don't need to see the whole thing being sewn together. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. If you are a new subscriber, I really appreciate you stopping by and taking the time to watch my videos. If you are a longtime subscriber, thank you for staying on and hanging on while I was trying to get myself together. It's been a long few months, and I'm finally starting to see a little light at the end of the tunnel, and I appreciate you. And I also appreciate all of you that have sent me private messages, and I definitely do appreciate, and even left comments. Thank you. So just so you know, I am doing a couple collaborations. One will be a Kiwi Lane one using the August kit, and it's with a few other Kiwi Lane YouTube creators, and I believe that video is going to air later this month. I believe on the 17th perhaps. Yeah, later this month. Definitely. And then I will be also doing a collaboration with my friend T, and that will be every Tuesday in the month of September, and that's a fun one. I'm really looking forward to that. And also in September, I will also be doing another collaboration, and it will be about organizing and your craft rooms and all that fun stuff. So it's definitely kept me busy. So I am looking forward to all those collabs. So I hope you will click on the little bell so that you can get notifications once everything airs. So I do end up inking all my edges, and I am using, I believe it's the Distress ink in tea dye, which is kind of a brownish color. And I do like using the tea dye when I'm using more of a vintage collection, or want to have more of a vintage feel on my layout. So yeah, so I'm really excited. I have a lot of content coming out soon. Just bear with me. Um, some things are scheduled, and I'm trying to put in some fillers so that I can have more content, and start getting a little bit more on track with posting my videos. So I'm using this watercolor paper that you see here. It looks like a watercolor, and I was trying to figure out what color I wanted to have around my picture, and that's why I went towards the middle of the paper, or bottom middle of the paper, because it had that um, orangey color, and my mom's wearing like a reddish orange dress, and this picture was taken soon after she came to America, um, in somewhere around 1966, 1967. Um, she came to the United States from Cuba, and she um, she was single, and she met my dad here, and eventually they married, and you know then I was born. So now I'm just going to distress my edges, and I have a distress tool. I just have no idea where I put it. Still looking for it, by the way. So instead I'm just going to use my scissor. My Tim Holtz scissors were a little too sharp, so instead I took out these EK Success scissors, and they definitely work a lot better. So I end up distressing all my edges. I do the flowers as well, and I also ink the edges of the flowers. And basically, this is what makes the layout, having the little details, um, the inking, the detail to making the flowers have a little dimension, instead of just being flat. It definitely makes a huge difference. So I'm going to start to glue things down, and I'm just trying to figure out where I want everything to go. And I am going to pop up my picture using some fun foam, as you can see there. And I actually am happy with the way that's starting to come together. And now I'm looking for the third circle, which is going to be a journaling circle. And as of right now, I still haven't written anything on here. But I do have the space available when I'm ready to journal something about my mom, perhaps. I mean, I don't know where this picture was taken, so I really can't um, say. All I had was a year written on the back. So I end up using this ledger paper, and that was shape 7T. And I am just going to go ahead and cut it out. I am going to ink the edges, and actually I'm going to distress my edges and then ink my edges. So there's a lot of new stuff coming out with Kiwi Lane. There's a new template release. So if you haven't checked it out, I have linked my shop in the comments. Just look for the new releases. There's really so cute. I can't wait. I already ordered mine. Can't wait to get the new templates. There's two new border ones. There's a couple shape ones. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since they've released some templates. So I'm just going to glue everything down at this point. And as you can tell, I mean, the flowers look good, but I feel like they need something in the middle. And at this point, you can go ahead and either add sequins like I'm going to do. You can use gemstones. You can use enamel dots, buttons. You could even use just little cutout circles, or make something your own. Make it your own by changing up the center of the flower. You can even stitch knots or something to make the flowers a little more interesting. I'm cutting out a butterfly, and I believe that one is from Nature to Tea. Oh, actually, no, I'm cutting out another flower. I apologize. Okay, so that is, again, a la carte Forget Me Not. And I really like this one because it's nice and small. And that's one thing I wish Kiwi Lane would make some smaller embellishments. Or smaller templates, rather. As you can tell, I used that specific flower like 4 times. So now I'm going to glue everything down, I believe. Flowers are all glued down, and I'm going to go ahead and cover my glue so I don't lose the needle. And I use art glitter glue, which I love because it dries very clear, and I've had that bottle for definitely over a year. I'd say maybe even 2 years. This little pickup stick is a jewelry picker-upper thingy. And let me see, you can find it on Amazon. They're super inexpensive. I'm trying to see if I could find the name of it. Of course, now when I need it, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. So that little jewelry stick, it has 2 ends to it, and it's called Jewel Picker, and it is by Marvy. So it has 2 ends. It has a smaller end, and then it has a bigger end. So right now I'm using the bigger end, which is the green end, and then it has like a little pinkish reddish colored one that you can use for much smaller things. So now I'm going to use Breezy 1A, and I want to use this reddish paper for the border that you see to the right of my picture. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut it out, and I'm sorry that I wasn't in focus, but I mean, it's just tracing. You guys know how to trace by now if you've watched the video from the beginning. So I hope everyone's summer has been going well. It has been pretty crazy here. We are new pool owners, so since I'm not working, we decided that I would be the pool keeper or the pool girl. So it has been definitely interesting learning how to deal with chemistry and all that other fun pool stuff. So here I'm looking at my sketch, and I just wanted to see where this was going to be placed, and I decide that it needs another mat. And this is where I realize that I have a 6x6 pad. And at this point I haven't figured it out yet because I'm just kind of like looking to see what I can use. And instead I pull this yellow paper out, and I was like, yeah, that's not what I was looking for. And that's where I find the 6x6, and I end up using this paper that says today, and it just has a lot of text, and it only says, just says today right across it. I'm going to center my my little strip so that I can get everything where it needs to go, and now I'm just going to glue it down to my paper so that there is a little separation between the picture and that layer of the paper. So I do end up, as you can see, distressing that black layer, and I also end up inking the edges. And I have to say, I really love how this page turned out. I think it's soft. The colors work perfectly with the pictures, and it wasn't, too much. It was, it just worked out very well. And here's where I was, telling you earlier about and you were not going to be able to see me let's see. All right, so I'm looking for, now in the right hand corner, as you can tell, there's like a tag and something else, and then a butterfly. So I'm going to cut the tag out of this green paper, you know, to kind of bring some of the green up into this corner of the page. And I'm trying to get all the colors to kind of go up into that corner as well. And I end up finding in the 6x6 a really pretty floral paper with tiny little flowers that ends up looking perfect, because it actually, which is that one right there, it has all the colors. It has the orange, it has the green. So, you know, all I need now is the yellow, and I will end up using a butterfly to add the yellow to my page. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this here, and unfortunately I do ink my edges, but I don't think I distressed my edges. As you can tell, I totally missed that train, because now everything's adhered. So I just bring everything to the right, and I am going to cut my butterflies, and I wanted to kind of have the rays nice and close together, so that's why I'm putting the template down towards the bottom, and I'm keeping them pretty close together. And I do cut out 3 butterflies, and you could also layer these and cut 2 out and have one kind of laying flat, and then the second one on top of it with a little bit more, you know, bending the wings so that it looks like it's flying off the page. I didn't do that. I just did one, and I did bend it in half, and then once I had it glued down, I kind of rolled my edges of the wings up so that it looks like it's kind of flying. So now I'm cutting my other 2 butterflies, and I'll be doing the same exact thing. And the butterflies I did not distress either, but I did ink the edges. And I have to say, I really love how this page turned out. Again, I know I said that before, but I really do. Just because I don't remember if I got this part in, I do end up using a Spectrum, I think it's a Spectrum Noir. Yeah, Sparkles pen in clear. So it has the crystal clear, it's like almost like a glitter pen. And I do go around the circle with the lines for my journaling. I do go around the edges of it and give it a little bit of a sparkle. I add some sparkle to my butterflies, as well as to the edge around my picture, the top edge, the yellow orangey paper. And I also end up doing some ink splattering using this crystal clear Spectrum Noir pen. I don't know if it's on video, so just, you know, stay on, and hopefully I will show you that. So now I added some pearls to my butterflies, and here's where I decided I need some, you know, my flowers need some leaves, obviously. So I am using I think that's Autumn 1. Yes, Autumn 1, and it's just a small leaf. And what I am going to do is I end up cutting them in half. I only cut 2 of them, and since I didn't want them to be like huge leaves, I cut them in half, and I use both ends of the leaf. And I am going to just roll them a little bit. So that's where I decide that I only need half of it. So I'm going to put 2 on the inside, 1 on the outside of this floral circle. And I really am super happy how everything has turned out. I think the only thing left is my title. Oh, and I do a little bow. As you can see in the sketch, there's a bow that is going to go on the right hand corner of the layout. So for the moment, I couldn't think of any bows templates. So I had bows that came in a kit. And so I just went ahead and traced it, as you see here, and used that as my templates to create the bow. And I'm pretty sure there's one with Kiwi Lane, but I just, at that moment, I didn't remember, and I just went ahead and cut it out. But as you can see, it's a very simple little simple bow. I just glue the middle, and then I'm just going to take a little strip of paper to create the center portion of the bow, just to finish it off. And you can't see me doing it here. Hopefully I will move my layout. Yep, there you go. And now you see it there. It's and oh, I'm gonna do 2 little edges for my I guess that's like the ribbon part of the bow, and I just used my scissors and fishtailed a little piece of paper just to create the to finish off my bow. And I really love how it turned out. Everything about this page I love. So now I've glued that down. Here's where I come out with the pen. So since I'm getting very close to the end of this video, I want to say thank you. Please stay to the end where you'll be able to see close-ups of the layout. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys soon. And thank you again for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. That would really help my channel. And if you have any friends that are looking into scrapbooking, perhaps share my page so that they can, or my channel, so that they can, join as well. It's so much fun. Scrapbooking is definitely my my me time, my self-love time. This is all about me, and I love being in my zone. So thanks again. If you have any questions or any comments, please leave them below, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Adding my title, these are stickos, and all I did was write mom and 1967, and I think this is the end of our video. You guys have a great day.